Hi everyone, the video you are about to watch was originally supposed to be much longer, however, unfortunately, 90% through the editing process, the footage was completely corrupted, unsalvageable, and unfortunately I just don't have time to re-record all of it. All the footage around the number one is still intact, so at least I can talk about my favourite album of the year so far, but for the rest, I hope this shorter version will do you fine. Please enjoy. Hi guys, welcome back to The Social Tune. And since we're halfway through the year, let's take the time to look back on what have been the best albums and songs of 2024 so far. You know the drill at this point. If you want the full top 25 albums list, part 1 is available over on the blog. And from now on, I think I'm going to keep these videos to top 10s because frankly, they're a lot easier to edit. And also it's what's more algorithmically friendly. So please like and subscribe for how professional and concise I'm becoming. Let's go.
I ain't never your kind, late but I'm really on time. Girl, what you put in your mind, I ain't digging your sign. True for that pussy ain't mine, hurt but I made it out fine. Still in my prime. Can't slip around, but I don't want you to drown inside me. It's not fair to be your responsibility. Clouds seem to follow when we try to run. Do you believe right? Do you believe in God? Do you believe that you were to deceive and choosing to receive it all? Oh, number 7 road, won't you take me home? Out there where my roots run deep, strong just like that old oak tree. I'm looking on the barrel and I'm missing my old bedroom. Why'd you show face? You're so selfish. I've seen the legends rock, I've seen the greats fall. I watched them turn it all to fantasy baseball, fantasy baseball, fantasy baseball, fantasy baseball, but I ain't come to play it. Dream is all I know, is all I've got. I'm your number one, yeah, I'm just living that life. Bondage, car, classic, but it's still pop. I get money, you get mad because the bank's shut. I dream of a cleansing wave, reborn, toothpaste for me.
And now, before the number one, let's rush through a bunch of songs that weren't on any of the projects that I've discussed so far, but that I still think will stand out as some of the best of the year. So yeah, here's a whopping 50 songs, most of which you haven't heard of, but a surprising amount of which you almost definitely have.
Lace front fucked up, you should've wore your bunny, running from me. And he wants a one night stand. I want a life full of nights with him.
Bye bye, boy bye.
If you think I'm putting your hands on me, no you can't stop thinking about it. 16 carriages driving away while I watch them ride from left to cards so they won't know that.
Cause you got a taste now, drink the Kool-Aid by the jug. You only wanna be the one that I call baby. Cause I'm the poison was.
I was radically transparent, then I reverted to the mean. But there were changes in the hardcore scene. I don't drink to forget, I drank to remember.
Whoa, league of my own, it don't get better, no.
They tried to cut off my power, but I kept soaring. Might get out of my vessel just to explore the orbit.
If you can help me out, speak up, no. Feels like I'm running low. Feels like I'm running in circles. And when I'm back in Chicago, I feel it.
Shame, shame. Take a leap and
you tired? Trying to strike a chord and it's probably A minor.
Out in London, light out just to piss into the pool. If I make a couple children with some women, then I'm cool. Is there a cure for minds unwell? Cause my head's a living hell if I'm honest with myself.
You throw my phone out the window. The next thing the neighbor says she's calling the feds, and I wish you were dead.
I guess maybe things are different now, but Daddy, can't you still take me out to the ball game?
Block the barricade until Palestine is free. When I was 7, I learned a lesson from Cuban Eazy-E. What was it again? Oh yeah, fuck the police.
Oh, and promise me that when it's time to leave, don't forget me.
But what about all those voices in the night?
And I can't help but feel
Echo moving in slow motion.
If I could change, then I wouldn't be here.
I believe if only I could find a reason.
daydreaming when I met you, never met you. But I'm so scared of my guitar, cause it cuts right through to the heart. Pick me up, take me home, turn me up, turn me on. I'm your friend, I'm your girl, I'm your little chaos.
Let me take you on a midnight ride, baby, you and I.
You got a heart like a runaway train, screaming down the mountainside.
You're begging for it now. Wallflower.
I remember certain things, what I was wearing, the yellow dashes in the street.
Trying to kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
And you got everybody calling, but I know that you're calling after me.
Just wanna breathe, and it's how you call a dream. Fix my eyes on all the things while beauty is a symptom of life. Gotta decide if I'm gonna see it now.
I know that we've looked at a lot of albums so far, some acclaimed, some less so. But anyone who knows me knew that my number 1 was going to be both very personal and also probably somewhat anecdotal. So right on cue, during the pandemic, I was doing a lot of soul searching, specifically trying to figure out the tangled mess that are my sexual and gender identities. The answer I found was a lot more boring than I'd like to admit, by the way. Anyway, over the course of that journey, 2 albums were absolutely instrumental to me. One was Set My Heart on Fire Immediately by Perfume Genius, and the other was Expectations by then newcomer Katie Pruitt. And while the former hasn't really made an attempt to surpass his 2020 album just yet, the latter...
Speaking of some things I put behind me, white lies, why Jesus sent you.
I don't know if there's one single song on this project that cuts me quite as deeply as Normal from her last album, which is just a modern classic in every sense. But as a whole, this album expands on the seeds planted by her first one better than I could have ever expected. The sonic palette is grander. Katie herself has grown in confidence as a singer, to the point where each decision in the vocal production feels a lot more intentional. And the songwriting is so much wider in scope while still feeling deeply personal. Not too dissimilar from Knocked Loose, it's an album dissecting the things we chase in order to find peace of mind. Whether it's a belief in God or some higher power like astrology, or attempting to give our lives meaning through our relationships and the exploration of our sexual identities. The last one being a very complicated relationship for Katie, being a gay woman who grew up in a very conservative atmosphere. Navigating a world that she's still young enough to still be figuring out for herself. And it's both incredibly smart and witty, while still being really empathetic to those who hold different beliefs than her. Quite often members of her own family, in fact. The sign of an empath who is far beyond her years, both intellectually and emotionally, who knows and acknowledges that she's still going to make mistakes and fuck up along the way, and isn't afraid to lay bare those self-sabotaging, anxiety-ridden tendencies for us to see. And the more that journey evolves, the more the tender naivete on that first album starts to fade, as past lies that she told herself start to reveal themselves for what they are. And it would be so easy to take a turn for the more pessimistic and jaded, but she doesn't. At least not yet. And that ability to still show empathy and even optimism in the face of so much disappointment, where in reality, finding her sexuality, it doesn't solve everything and still leads to a lot of heartbreak along the way, that is why this is my album of the year so far. It showcases an artist who showed so much potential 4 years ago branch out into something bigger and better than I could have ever hoped for. Both in her progressive country sound, seriously, nobody else is doing it quite like her, and her plain-spoken gift for analysis and storytelling. If you've been hesitant about getting on board, give Expectations a listen, and then come and listen to this. You will not regret it. Thank you for watching, everyone. I hope you all take care. And until the next time, I'm Finn, and this is The Social Tune, signing off.